Hello and welcome back to Star Trek Fleet Command with me, Admiral. So, joining me back on the game, first of all, I just want to thank all of the new subscribers for joining the channel. We've had, I think, over 22, over the past 6 weeks, which for me is obviously really good. And I just want to thank everyone that's joined so far, and obviously if you haven't joined already and you do enjoy the content or you want to see more content, then please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. But this video is going to be sort of based on a video that I watched the other day, so straight away I'm going to put it out there. I watched a video, or watched Nowonshalls video the other last night, and his video said basically he got a request or got a suggestion from a subscriber, and in that suggestion it was to do with the missions and the way that missions should be. So if you haven't checked that video out, go and check his channel out and check that video out. But I'm going to just try and sort of add on to that suggestion as well, and maybe something else that could be added to the game that I've been thinking about for quite a while now, since I started the game, and sort of want to get your input as well in the comment section down below. Again, I'll link Nowonshalls' channel down below as well, so you can go and check out that video and see what he talks about in that video as well. So without taking any thunder, go and check that video out, and I'm going to move on to a slightly different sort of area within that sort of thing. So missions, obviously, missions are all around obviously the galaxy that we're in Star Trek, and basically sometimes you obviously, the higher level you go, sometimes you skip through missions, sometimes you just completely miss them because you haven't been to the systems or stuff like that. And essentially, like, I personally think there needs to be some form of recognition sort of thing to say where missions are, because the problem with the game is people try and rush through, especially the early sort of first 20 levels. People try and rush through to get to like level 20 and above, and to be honest, they don't really pay too much attention to the missions, even though some of the missions and the storylines are really good. So I believe there should be some form of, I don't know, maybe like a feature like the mining feature, for example. When you click it, it shows you what is in the systems. Like maybe adding a feature like that to the game, just next to the mining icon, where you can click it and it just comes up as a little scroll or a scribe saying this is where a mission is that you haven't completed yet. Obviously, if it's something that you've completed, then it just disappears. But if it's something that you haven't completed, then I personally think that it should come up as like a little scribe or a book or something like that, just an indicator to say, hey, here's a mission you haven't completed yet, come and do it, sort of thing. Again, not only to that is something else, moving on from the mission side of stuff, because again, I don't want to steal Nowonshalls' video, because that's what he sort of talks about. So we're moving on from that. A sort of additional features I'd like to see in the game, or definitely appear in the game over the basically the next year, to make the game a little bit fresher, to make it more enjoyable, to make the community, especially the community side of it, more enjoyable to be in, is I'd actually like to see some form of alliance trading system. So if you go into like the alliance tab, I'd like to be able to see like a trading system between each player within the alliance, so you can give them certain resources and then they can give you something back in return. I don't know exactly how that would work, and obviously the finer details would need to be worked on how to do that, and then obviously it can't be abused, so therefore there needs to be a cap on it per day, per week, or something on the lines of that, so that you can sort of, in the alliance, you can help each other out a little bit more than just clicking the help button, because we've all got players in the alliance that, have got loads of resources, absolute tons, but nothing to do with it, so they could help other players grow, help your bigger players grow even more than they already are, and then you could have sort of like feeder people for certain players and stuff like that, and again, you can obviously help each other out in terms of the alliance. That's my take on it. Please let me know what you think to that sort of idea, some sort of alliance trading system within the game. I personally think that would be a good idea. Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Okay, moving on from that one, another feature that I think that would be beneficial to the game, and again would help sort of bring together a community. And I think more than anything, it'd just be more of an enjoyable thing to see in the game. I think there should be like a moving, or like essentially like a black market style system, like a black market style system within the game. So, and it moves around system to system. Like obviously that's got to be limited to a certain number of systems, but it'll come in and out, and it only lasts, say, a week at a time or 1 week a month, and you can go to that black market and, you know, you can, I don't know, trade with them, you know, get certain things for discount, you know, like ship parts for discount. You can get resources for discounted prices because it's all on the black market, so to say. And then you have to pay for them via, you know, some form of credit-based system. It shouldn't be Latinum. I don't believe it should be Latinum. You pay for that, but they need to introduce like a credit-based system, whether it be like, I don't know, like like basically like the free credit-based systems that we have at the moment, or the four. So we obviously have the Romulan, the Klingon, and we have the Federation credits. Maybe utilizing them, because then that'll make players really think. Because obviously at the moment they're not that hard to get, the different credits, but obviously you need a lot of them to build up your ships and stuff like that. And I personally think something like that would be a lot more beneficial for players that are a higher level as well. And I think that would introduce a sort of nice element to it. And at the same time as running something like a black market event, I think there should be like a bounty hunter sort of style, you know, event. So you can, when the black market's triggered, which may be like once a month, or, you know, for like a week period or something, in that week period you'll get random missions throughout the week. Obviously different days you'll get random stuff where you've just got to hunt down certain types of players, or, you know, like bosses within the game, you know, of all different levels, depending on obviously what level or ops you are. You'll get different levels of, you know, bosses you need to face, and essentially it becomes a little like a mini mission for you as an individual. I think something like that to the game as well needs to be sort of added, because it would add, again, a lot of story, a lot of character to the game, because not everyone has to do it. And that, I think something like, especially like the PvP players, you know, obviously it's not going to help them because it's not technically PvP, but at the same time, if they're getting some nice rewards, you know, maybe whether it be obviously pasty or trait or dill, and depending on obviously what level you are throughout the game, you know, these sort of bosses, at least it would add an element of being able to attack each other and stuff, because at the moment, as you're aware, obviously we have the 3 different shields that we can get in the dailies, so we get the 4, the 8 and the 12 hours now in the dailies, so players can just stay shielded for 24 hours a day, every single day of the week, every single day of the year. You know what I mean? So it's really hard now to get PvP stuff to happen, especially on bases. Not so much, obviously, you can just attack someone in random space, obviously, but if you don't want to be that jack on them, you know, you're not probably going to. But in terms of attacking bases, raiding bases and stuff like that, it's really hard to come by resources these days, just because everyone's shielded permanently. So I think that would add a different spin to the game, like a bounty hunter, a black market style system that only lasts for like maybe even like a few days a month, you know, or 1 week a month for the bounty hunter sort of events. And it's like a little storyline within itself, and you essentially can become a bounty hunter sort of within the black market. Maybe even adding like a new faction, like the bounty hunter faction, you know, where you just go around basically hunting down players, or hunting down, you know, PvE players and stuff like that. Because if they added that, at least it adds like an element of PvP to the game, or element of extra PvE of a higher level for players to enjoy. Because even like the PvE or PvP, for example, like something like that would work really well in this case, because you could have, for example, if the player was to trade on the black market and get caught, so there needs to be like a percentage chance, for example, of, so every time you trade on it within that time frame, then you have a 20% chance of getting caught. And if you are caught, then a bounty needs to be put on your head, and then that would introduce whoever catches that player first and the ship that they arrived to the node in, for example. That ship that arrived at the node to do the trade for you, whether it be, obviously, at the moment, obviously, you can see Masali, Mascent, or the miner. So, say Masali went, for example, then there needs to be some form of, you know, once that player's done the trade, if he gets caught on the black market, so to say, there needs to be a bounty put on his head for whatever much amount, and then one of his ships, doesn't matter which one of his ships, you have to attack it. As soon as you blow it up, you get the bounty because you've attacked and there's your reward for, you know, finding the player, attacking the player. So again, it adds a little bit of a different element to the game in terms of being able to, you know, sort of play hide and seek as such, you know, with other, you know, players, other alliances and stuff like that, because the game, especially my server, is not a very heavy PvP type of server, and it's kind of annoying, to be honest, because everyone just moans as soon as you do PvP, because you don't really get any benefits of doing PvP at the moment. If I'm honest, you don't actually get that any benefit whatsoever, but I think that would add a very good element to the game. And please let me know your thoughts. They're just a couple of suggestions that I thought, and obviously adding on to what Nowonshalls has obviously spoke about in his video as well. Again, if you haven't seen his video, go check it out. I'll link his channel in the description down below. And please go check his channel out if you haven't subscribed already. Please do hit the subscribe button. And let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below and what you think to my suggestion. Please suggest your suggestions, and we might be able to put something forward and see if we can run with it, if we get enough backing, and we'll see where we go. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.